Hey guys, what is up? Today we're going to talk about something that is near and dear to our hearts. Whether you like it or not, whether you say you're better off without it than not, whether you cry about it or not, whether you sweat for it or not, it's always in our minds. And everything pretty much that you do has to deal with this. Should I have a baby now that we just got married? Hey! Honey, where do you want to go have dinner tonight? Should we go to that fancy restaurant that? Hey! Oh my gosh, do I need a new car, but I need some. Hey! Honey, I'm starving and you didn't buy my favorite blank, blank, blank. It's no more in the refrigerator. Bingo! Can't go to Walmart or Publix without this. I know, it's a drag. We exist, therefore we bingo! Nothing we can do. Because even the guys that, and when I say guys, I mean everybody, even the people that rebel against the system, and they say, oh, I'm just gonna live off the grid and trade and blah, blah, blah. It all comes down to this anyway. What a drag, right? So today I'm gonna show you 8 streams of this for you to consider and say, hey, I'm only doing one. I should be doing more. Now, if you look all over the internet, they say that the average millionaire has 7 income streams. Well, guess what? I'm gonna give you 8. The 8th one we'll discuss later. All right? So let's talk about this. I'm gonna categorize these from normal to hardest to obtain, okay? So let's start with the basic one. Earned. What is earned income? There it is. Since you were 16 years old, flipping burgers at McDonald's, getting paid squat. That's what this is about. I don't care if you're making a ton of money every year. The average person is always trying to survive. If you got lucky and picked up a high-tech position somewhere, you're still punching in and punching out. We're still at the mercy of someone saying, you can come back tomorrow, or guess what? You're laid off or you're fired. So this is the one everybody has. And this is the one that really sucks. Earn income, number 1. Number 2, profit. What kind of income is profit? Well, anything that you can make a buck out of. If you notice my notes, buy and sell. I call it also a little bit of a hustle here because let's say I bought this from a friend of mine for 10 cents and I decide to sell it to my other cube mate for $1 because he needs one. I just made 90 cents on the hustle. I made a 90-cent profit with hardly any effort. Now, of course, the more effort you put, the more profit money you make. And this can apply to pretty much anything. But this is something that anybody can do if they really wanted to. A lot of people don't think they like it, and they don't. A lot of people do. Really helps out with the side money on the weekends. Next one, another easy one that any Joe Blow can do. Interest. I don't know if you've noticed, but over the last many years, the only thing that you can do in a bank to get any kind of money is having a CD. Everything else, the interest on your checking, your savings, all that crap is just trash. You don't even notice it. It's the most ridiculous freaking thing ever. So, I remember when I was a young lad coming out of college, or when I was in college, and I met this guy that just moved down from New York, and I was at the church, and the guy asked me, "Hey, I need to open a CD. What bank should I go to?" And I said, "Well, there's a bank here, there, where are you gonna live, blah, blah, blah." And then he says, "Yeah, I sold my furniture business in New York, and I have $100,000 to park on a CD." And I went, $100,000? You might as well say $1 million to me back when I was a young lad. Could you imagine having $100,000 CD back then in the 80s? Now it just buys a couple of pizzas. Anyway, interest. Every now and then you get lucky with a CD, a bank promotion, something. If you have an emergency fund that you don't touch, yeah, you can put it there. 2%, 1%. Hey, the money's safe. Well, let's not get into how safe it is, but the money's safe and you get a little money, right? One day when you have 200, 300, 400 grand and you want to keep them liquid and you put it on a 1% CD, you're getting $400 a month, and that's the equivalent of having a rental house and somebody making you payments, and your profit is $400 a month. It's just as good without the hassles. But we're going to talk about rental income. All right? So, stream of income number 3, interest. All right. Now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty here. These start getting harder, and not too many people do have these. Okay? Dividends. What is a dividend? When you buy stock, whether in a fund or by itself, let's say you like Apple and you say, "Hey, my grandma gave me $5,000 towards my school and I never used it, so now I'm just gonna park it in some Apple stock and let it rot." Well, they're gonna start paying you annually, semi-annually. Some companies do monthly or quarterly, and you're gonna get a couple of little chump change. Now, what is the good thing about this? The good thing about this is if you buy Coca-Cola, and Coca-Cola doubled in price over the last 5 years. Let's say you bought $5,000 at 50. The stock was valued as 50. Now if it doubles again in 5 years, now your 5,000 is 10,000, but they've been paying you 3 point something % every year to have that. Better than a CD, because although it's a little better on the payout for the dividend pay, but your stock doubled. So now you made some nice change there. But how many people have money to put on this and risk it in one stock? You know, I don't know. AT&T pays pretty good, but do I trust AT&T? No, I'm with Verizon. Anyway, there's plenty of websites that will tell you which ones pay the most and which ones are the safest. Coca-Cola is safe. Pepsi is safe. And they go on from there. This was stream number 4. Number 5, rental income. Now, the second I say rental, people think immediately real estate. Well, it doesn't have to be real estate, because it's basically the renting of property to somebody else so that you can make a little money. So yeah, if your mama died and she left you a house, why sell it? Start renting it. If you have enough money from a fund and you're like, "Hey, you know, I better buy one house cash and then start pocketing $1,500 a month," you know, that's a heck of a great deal. Or you can start renting your car out. Let's say you have 3 cars that you don't use, Or you have two, and one of them you decide you're not going to use on the weekends and you're going to put it on Turo.com, and somebody needs that car for Saturday and Sunday or for a few days. You charge them $50 a day, and now you made some rental income, tools, anything that you can think of. Hey, buddy, do you have something I can borrow? I don't have something I can borrow, but if you want this wrench, you can rent it for me for $10 a day. There you go. Number 5, rental income. They're getting harder as we go. Number 6, capital gains. What do you think? Capital gains is defined basically like this. When your ass goes up. And by ass, I mean assets, right? So you bought a house or a condo for $100,000, and in 10 years now it's worth $150,000. Well, guess what? You just made some income by appreciation. Boop! You bought a stock at 50, went to 100. Boop! You get the picture? You actually didn't do any work. You owned, and it went up. If you want a speech about owning, the favorite movie of all time, which one is it? I'll give you a few seconds. I'm gonna make it hard for you. Charlie Sheen, Michael Douglas, a stock movie. Go look it up from back in the 80s. I'll tell you, Wall Street. Michael Douglas, the kickasser, talks about all the appreciation he's got from doing this and doing that. Go follow it up. Number 6. Number 7, this is a hassle. I'm not even interested. Royalties. What does that mean? Money from your work. You wrote a book, you plastered it on the internet, out of the blue, bam, all these people start buying it, and you're making some money out of it. Bill Gates created Microsoft, Windows. You pay a license fee every year to have it. You're borrowing his work. He's selling it times $1 billion, and he's making money off of it. That kind of thing. Do I see the average Joe doing this? Heck no. So it's almost like it shouldn't be counted. But it is a stream of income, so I have to mention it. Now, like I said, everywhere they say on the internet that there are 7 streams of income. But I'm going to add you one more. Call it a bonus from Extreme Life Reviewer to you. Because this is what I have lived by. You ready? Because this is the one that really makes me pitter-patter my heart. Hustle money, baby! What is hustle money? Now, before you send me a comment that says, hey, hustle money applies to many of those that you read, so you can't count it as number 8. Guess what, lady? Guess what, gentlemen? Comments are off, so don't bother. And secondly, the life of a hustler is totally different. Are you a hustler? You immediately know if you're not. And you definitely know if you are. Why? Because it's right here. Nobody has to teach you nothing. You're always thinking, you're always grabbing, you're always selling, you're always doing. Hey, I did this, give me some money. Hey, I sold you this for that, give me some money. Hey, money, money, money. Bam. This is the liberator of all in my book. This, let's go back. This will lead you to this. This will lead you to this. After you have bought some of this from this will lead you to this, because now you got some extra green in your pocket. This will definitely get you here because you're holding that green. You might as well park it on a CD. And these will give you this because they're hand in hand all together. Yes, this could be this because it's work. I don't consider it work. Because this kind of work where somebody's telling you to clock in and clock out is the most horrible. I don't want to cuss because this is a family channel. But did you get my emotion? Let's just get rid of this. This will get you all of this that you want. You ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Here he goes. Mwah! Mwah! Big hug. Mwah! This is what I live by. And guess what? $25 average per day, 5 days or 7 days a week. At the end of the month is a lot of money. At the end of the year is a lot of money. Hustlers never go to sleep. Hustlers may take a vacation to go somewhere, but they're thinking, so they're not really on vacation. I haven't been on a vacation mentally since I don't know when. Hustlers see opportunities. Hustlers see somebody not doing something and go, maybe I should bang on that door and tell them I can do this. And here's my price to make it worth my while. And if they say no, too expensive, you say, F you. Or you can say, all right, sir, let's do this. You're here and I'm here, so let's split it down the middle because I really want to help you. You really want to help your pocket, but you don't want to let them know that. It's all about that. So the best advice I can give you is, number one, if you're a hustler and you're not moving, move your freaking A. Move it. Don't waste time. Time is short. Even if you can get $5, $10 a day, guess what? That just paid for your freaking lunch. Example. And I don't want to hear the excuses. I have kids. I don't want to hear the excuses of my job makes me work late hours. Those are all freaking excuses because a hustler is a hustler is a hustler, and you will put in 15, 18, 20 hours because this will get you to all these goals. Now here's the sad thing. Once you have all of these, let's say you get to 1 million or 5 million, guess what? The hustle doesn't stop because it's you is in here. It never stops. So that means that you'll never retire. Pretty sad, right, when you say that? But guess what? This hustle is what keeps us going. I can only watch Netflix so much. Immediately my brain starts thinking about, if I put a little money into this, I can do this. Or that freaking neighbor up the street who hasn't mowed the lawn in a month, I'm gonna bang on their door finally this week and say, hey, I don't know what's going on here, but I live down the street. I'm gonna walk up here and mow this for you, but I need $50 because it's overgrown. Is that okay with you? Sure, nobody likes to mow anybody's lawn, but for $50, which equals a beautiful steak dinner, or it equals what? One stack of Coca-Cola? I don't know. Things happen. Things grow from there. So when you have a couple of different side hustles going on, and you know what my favorite side hustle is? Referrals. Spelled R-E-F-E-R-A-L. That is the beautiful, most simplest way to make some money. Can I give you an example? We had some big ass storms in Orlando, Florida a couple years ago. Everybody needed a new roof, except people thought that the insurance companies would not agree with the roofers, who told them, hey, you have damage here, put a claim and then we'll put the roof on for you. The insurance will pay. Everybody was super smart, telling me, oh, that's fake. And I said, but how is it fake when I got these guys to come over to my house and they met the adjuster, and the adjuster said, you're right, Mr. Extreme Life Reviewer, you do have some roof damage and I'm going to approve you for a new roof. And then the check came and I held the check in my hand and I called the roofer and I said, roofer, I got the money, let's do it. And they came and gave me a new roof, and yet my freaking neighbors still kept thinking it was a scam. So you know what the hustler in me did? I called the roofer and I said, if you give me $350 for every referral I give you, I'll go out there and hit the pavement for y'all. And guess what? One day I decided to count how many referrals I had sent them. I had sent them 81 people, but then over time people just kept showing up and showing up and showing up. So let's call it 100. I received so many $350 checks from that hustle that I didn't even know what to do with them. So do you see? Look at an opportunity and then move forward, guys. Now, if you're gonna tell me, hey, I make 100 grand a year at my job, or I make commissions and I make 300 and I gotta be full-time in it. Okay, fine, whatever. I'm talking about the average Joe, the average person stuck on the first income stream and has nothing else. That's who this hustle will work for. With the internet, there's a million things you can do. You know how many stores out there are selling clearance items? Buy something for 10 bucks and then turn around and put it on eBay for 50 bucks. I mean, come on. Just look on the internet. There's all kinds of business ways or little hustles that you can do. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I can go on forever, but that's not what this is about. It was just about the 8 streams of income out there. I see we've gone a little too long here. Some of y'all might complain. Don't bother sending me a comment because they're off. Okay, guys. Until next time, keep watching and subscribe. I'm out.